Suppose we have a rectangle whose length is, let's say, 10 centimeters and whose breadth is, let's say, 7 centimeters. So can you tell me what is the area of this rectangle? You might be knowing that the area of a rectangle is nothing but length multiplied by the breadth, or the length multiplied by the width. So we have length as 10 and the breadth as 7. So we have 10 sevens are 70. And since both of them are in centimeters, we have 70 square centimeters. But suppose if I divide this rectangle into two parts, let's say when the length is 8, I make a partition. So this is the first partition of the rectangle, the blue one, let's say. And then we have, let's say, a green partition. So whose length is now the remaining part. Since the first part was 8, this part would be 2. This part would be 2 and the first part is 8. And in total 8 plus 2 is 10. So what is the area of this blue partition? The area of the blue partition would be length 8 multiplied by the breadth 7. So it's 8 sevens are 56. And what is the area of the second partition? Again, the length is 7 and the breadth is 2. So 7 twos is 14. And if we add 56 and 14 in the corner, what is 56 and 14? We have again 70. So remember that if you divide a rectangle into two parts or more parts, the total area of the rectangle is always equal to the areas of the individual parts. So what we did in the first part is we just simply multiplied 8 and 7 and then we added it to 7 and 2, 2 and 7. So in other words, we actually had to multiply 7 and 10. So we had to multiply 7 and 10, but then we divided the 10 into two parts, 8 plus 2. And what we simply did is, the blue rectangle had an area of 56, which was 7 eighths. So we simply multiplied this green and this red, this 7 and 8. And then we added 7 multiplied by 2. So this process of removing the brackets in a product is known as expansion and is also known as the distributive law. So what actually happens is, first we multiply the 7 and 8 and we write this as 7 eighths, and then again we come out and we multiply the 7 and 2, which is 7 twos, and we write this plus sign in between. So had this sign been minus, we would have written a minus sign in between. So this law, this process of opening the brackets, rather we can say, is called the distributive law. So we have the same thing. 7 eighths is 56 and 7 twos is 14, and add them and you get 70, and 7 tens is also 70. So you see that we get the same answers. So in general, we can say that A bracket open B plus C is equal to, first we multiply the A with B and we write AB, or A multiplied by B, and then we write this plus sign, and then we come out again and then we multiply A and C and we write AC. In the very same manner, if let's say it would have been A bracket open B minus C, then the answer to this would be A multiplied by B, which is AB, and then this minus sign, and then A multiplied by C, which is AC. But suppose over here we would have more partitions in the rectangle. Then what? Suppose we had 3 or 4 partitions. So it would be the total area would be the total of the individual areas. So using the same logic and concept, we can say that A bracket open, let's say B plus C plus D minus E would be first A multiplied by B, which is AB. Remember, A, B, C, D, E are either variables or simply numbers. So just assume 7 written over A and 2 written over B. So it would be 7 twos are, 7 twos are 14. And then we would write this plus sign. and then we multiply this A and C, which is AC, then again a plus sign, and then we write A multiplied by D, which is AD. We always try to write this in alphabetical order, and then we put a minus sign. And what is A multiplied by E? Which is AE. Remember, AE is A multiplied by E. So this is what we say opening the brackets or distributing it. Distributive law. So let us do some examples. Expand and simplify. So whenever you are asked to expand, it means multiply this 5 to all the numbers inside the bracket. So let me do it over here. So what is 5 multiplied by 2a plus 3? So we can rewrite this as 5 multiplied by 2a plus 5 multiplied by 3. So remember always first multiplication and then addition. So 5 2s is 10, 10a, 5 3s is 15, and then we add them. And 10a plus 15, since this is a and this is just a number, a constant number, we simply cannot add them. So that is the most we can do over here. So this is the final answer. So let's do another one. 4 bracket open 3b plus c. 4 bracket open 3b plus c. So we have first 4 multiplied by 3b, which is 4 multiplied by 3b plus 4 multiplied by c. So let's multiply. 4 3s is 12, b plus 4c as it is. Since this is a b and that is a c, the variables are different. They are unlike terms, so we cannot add them. So don't write 12 plus 4 is 16 bc. You will be getting a wrong answer. Let's do another one. 8 bracket open 3 minus 4y. So what I'll do over here is I'll just simply skip this second step. And instead of writing 8 multiplied by 3 first, I'll just write the answer directly. What is 8 3s are 24 minus 8 4s are 32 y. And again, they are unlike terms, so we have done that sum. Then the next one, 5 bracket open a minus 8b. So 5a minus 8b. So this is 5 into a is 5a minus 5 8s is 40b. So we have 5a minus 40b. First 5 into a, and then we have 5 8s are 40. Okay, the next one, 6 bracket open m plus 7n. Almost all the sums are almost similar now. 6 into m is 6m plus 6 7s is 42, 42m. So this is the answer. But if you look at the next sum, we have a negative x outside. So we need to take some precautions. So negative x multiplied by 2x plus 4. Now remember, I'll just do the second step now. First we have this negative x multiplied by 2x. Remember, this dot also means multiplication, plus the negative x. So since we need to write negative x immediately after the plus sign, we put it in brackets, multiplied by 4. So remember, this is the first term, this is the second term. The terms multiply with each other, and the expression multiply, they become the same term, and then we have a plus sign in between. So we have this. So what is x multiplied by x? It is x squared, and this is a negative 2. We have a negative 2x squared. And what about here? 4 into x is 4x, and plus and minus is minus. So we have negative 2x squared minus 4x. So let me do the next one. Negative 6b bracket open 3 minus 2b. So first negative 6b will be multiplied with a 3 like this, and then we write this minus sign, and then negative 6b will be multiplied to negative 2b. So we have negative 6b multiplied by negative 2b. Always, to the extent possible, write negative numbers in brackets. So we have 6 3s is 18, b and the negative sign, because negative and positive is negative. And what about here? So I'll just rewrite this minus as it is. And what is 6 2s are? 6 2s are is 12. B into b is b squared. And what about this? Negative and negative is positive. So we have a positive 12b square, but we have a negative sign before the positive number. So minus and plus is minus. And since this is b and this is b square, they are unlike terms. Then let's do this sum. I'll just write it over here. 16 minus 7 bracket open 1 minus 3x. Okay, now we'll write the 16 as it is. Remember, only this negative 7, the negative 7 multiplies to the first number and the negative 7 multiplies to the second number. So we can rewrite this as minus 7 multiplied by 1 and minus 7 multiplied by negative 3x. Suppose if I don't write this bracket, then we will understand this to be like 7 minus 3x. But this is actually 7 multiplied by negative 3x. So it's very important that the negative numbers are put in brackets. So we have 16 minus. This is the first term, second term, and this is the third term. So 7 ones is 7. And then we write a minus over here. What is 7 threes are? We write 21 and x as it is because there are no other variables. But this is a negative number. So negative 21x. And since we have two consecutive signs, we can combine them. So what is negative and negative? It is positive. So we have plus 21x. But is it simplified? No, it is not simplified because this is x, but these two are constants. So we can actually add or subtract the constants, the same terms. So what is 16 minus 7? 16 minus 7 is 9 plus 21x. But please don't add 9 and 21 and write 30x because this is the simplified form. So let's do this one. 5 bracket open a plus b minus 2 minus 4 bracket open 5 minus a plus 2b, and the second bracket also close to a. So let's see how to do this. So I'll be skipping this second line and I am going to multiply this 5 to all the three terms. So what is 5 into a? We have 5a. What is 5 into b? We have 5b. And what is 5 multiplied by 2? We have 10. And then minus. What is minus 4 into 5? We have minus 20, negative 20. And then what do we have over here? What is negative 4 multiplied by a negative a? We have 4 into a is 4a, and minus is plus. So a negative 4 multiplied by a negative a is positive 4a. And what about this? A negative 4 multiplied by a positive 2b. So we know negative and positive is negative. So the answer to this will be negative. And what is 4 2s are? 8, b as it is. So this is the expansion part. But have we simplified this? The answer is still we need to simplify because we need to take the like terms together. So we have this 5a and 4a as like terms. So 5a plus 4a will be written together. And then we have this positive 5b and negative 8b also as like terms. So plus 5b minus 8b. And finally we have these constants together. Negative 10 and negative 20. So we are going to take the like terms together. It's like 5 apples plus 4 apples, which is 9 apples. So we can add the apples together, the a's together. And what over here? What is plus 5b minus 8b? Plus and minus is minus. 8 minus 5 is 3. 3b. Sign of the greater one is minus. And finally, what is minus and minus? Plus. 10 plus 20 is 30. Sign of the greater one is minus. So this is the simplified form of the expansion. Hope you understood this. Thanks for watching.